Welcome to I Put It To You podcast, the podcast where we put the questions on the table, we unpack the facts and get real about the things you really want to know. Joining me today in the hot seat is Stian and Jacques Stolz from SSE Property Specialists. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are thinking about a business opportunity where you might have to buy commercial or industrial property, this episode is for you. So get comfortable. We're going to jump right into it. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, Jacques and Stian. Something just off topic. It's like I'm interviewing another leg because Jacques Stolz Jr. was one of my guests beforehand. He's now our clerk. He's almost a proper attorney now. So yeah, nice to have you guys, a different part of the family here.
Thanks for having us.
No, you're welcome. Jacques, I'm always very intrigued in how people get into the real estate market. I mean, you guys are part of a third generation now. You are the second, you are the third. How did you get into the property market, being an estate agent?
Yeah, so my mother started this property company in 1978. I decided to join my parents, and that was in 1996. So this is my 30th year in the real estate sector.
I was 1 year old. That's crazy. Okay, so something completely different. So you're actually a mechanical engineer, but being exposed to the property market. So was it your mother or your mother and father both who started SSE?
So my mother initially started it,
but
my father got involved. They started purchasing properties on auction, and then he fixed it. And then some they kept, and some they just sold off. And some of the last ones was actually sold recently.
Wow.
So that the property industry looked very good after my parents.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And you, Stian, how did you, because I know there's another family member as well. She's not here today, Zonica. She's also part, but she's a chartered accountant.
Correct,
Same to you, completely different studies, but went into the property market. How did you get into joining your dad?
So we actually grew up going to open houses, never with the thought of buying the house, but just looking at different listings. And it was just a thing we used to do on Sundays, and we always spoke about business at home. And it just made sense to go into the real estate world. But I also studied something completely different. I studied international trade and risk management. And then my dad actually told me, it's too easy to just join the family company. I need to go work for somebody else, see how difficult it is out there. And then if I change my mind about working somewhere else, I'm allowed to join the family company.
Oh, good dad. That's so good. Because I mean, your brother, like I said earlier, he's a candidate attorney with us. So everybody is kind of forced into going to do what you want before you can come back to the family. Okay, no, that's so interesting. Thank you. How long have you been part of SSE now?
I started working in 2022, 23. Yeah, 23. So this will be my third year.
Okay.
Yes.
Third year and like 31 years. Jacques, maybe you can tell us a bit more about your agency. Today we are focusing on the commercial and industrial side of things, but tell us a bit more. That's not the only thing you do.
Yeah, so SSE Real Estate Specialist focus on all sectors and aspects of the property industry. We do residential sales and letting. We do then industrial sales, letting and developments. We've done a few residential developments as well. But in the year around about 2000, I saw a big opportunity in the industrial sector in our local area. And based on my experience as mechanical engineer, it was easy to access that specific market because the clients were inclined to speak engineering languages and not real estate. And I could basically join the two up. And I was very successful, and we still are very successful in industrial property sector. It's totally different than the residential market.
That's something we're going to get into a bit later, but it is true. It's not the buyer that comes to you and say 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 garages. That's a whole different thing. But you guys do sectional title management as well?
We did it for maybe 20 years, but we've sold off that section of our company, so we don't focus on that anymore. It takes up, and that's where Zonica actually came in with her accounting background.
Yeah.
She did a lot of that, but we found that using that energy on the sectional title management, we're actually losing out on bigger developments where we can focus on that.
It takes up a lot of time, sectional title management. It does take a lot of time. Before we get too deep into our chat with the commercial and industrial stuff, Stian, please tell us where the listener that's listening can get hold of SSE.
So the easiest will be our website.
Okay.
Or what most people do is they just go on Property 24, and if you search Sasolburg and you do industrial or commercial listings, you will find a lot of our listings over there. And then the listing agent will be either myself, my dad, or Zonica.
Okay, so you guys are also active on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. You are there, or not too much?
Mostly Facebook.
Mostly Facebook, and then it's easy to find agents on Property 24 because you can filter the stuff and look for them. I mean, it says contact, and then they can contact you guys. We will also just link the link in our bio to this YouTube on our channel, so people can just click the link and then have access to you guys' website. Now, let's get into it. I put it to you guys that how does the current economic conditions in South Africa affect the demand for commercial property sectors?
Yeah, so in the area where we operate, which is the local here, Sasolburg, Van der Bijl and Vereeniging, we're quite dependent on the larger companies like your Sasols, Natref and stuff like that. And they're quite stable with their operations. So that's a positive for us, because our clients in the industrial sector normally serve those bigger companies.
Yes.
So, and the demand for our type of properties are very high currently. So the economic factors doesn't have a big influence currently on our sector.
Yeah.
Even during the COVID periods, industrial property seems to be performing very well.
Okay.
Because people, they need a workshop. They can't do their work from home, like office type of job.
Yes.
So our investments in the industrial sector outperform all other property sectors.
It's the warehousing needs of the people. I mean, that's never going to go away. And in this area, I mean, we are quite active in that specific industrial sector, because you guys are also situated very close to Sasol. You are in Naledi, in Fall Park.
We are in Kemp City Eco Industrial Park, or Sasolburg Eco Industrial Park. That's where our clients are also, you know, so they come in there and we can assist them directly. Okay,
so not too much of a negative impact, I would say. One thing I thought about preparing my questions is, especially like the retail sector, like there's e-commerce. People purchase a lot of things online, and I thought about like warehousing is important. Logistics always needs to happen because the package needs to be transported from the one place to another. So all these ladies ordering their Shein packages, that packages needs to go to a warehouse. So I didn't think it would impact you guys doing the commercial industrial part that big. The office sector, how do you guys focus on office in the commercial office spaces?
So the office spaces are quite difficult to fill at the moment, especially when you have a small office.
Yeah.
People tend to just be like, if there's 4 or 5 people working, they'll work from home and have the meetings at Magazine or wherever. So we tend not to focus on the office spaces as much, just because work from home is such a big thing.
And it's become an even bigger thing since COVID. I mean, that's when people really realize that, gee, if you have a laptop, you have proper internet speed, you have access to the service right from your study at home, then you don't need that spaces so much. But I mean, warehousing is very important. Which property sectors is currently outperforming the other?
Yeah, so in our view, it is the light industrial type of property. That's it's like a workshop with a small office component to it. So it's 400, 500 square meters, of which maybe 100, 150 square meters are office, and the balance is workshop.
Okay.
So you've got your, and that's basically for either satellite type of companies who's got big shops, perhaps in Joburg or in Secunda or wherever, in Durban, and they need a satellite office space or set up in Sasolburg because they service Sasol. And that's good, that's very good tenants. And then the others are owner operating companies.
Okay.
So you've got your boss who's the owner as well of the company, and he's got maybe office complement of 5 to 10 people.
Okay.
And then a workshop is maybe have similar like 10 workers. That's manufacturing or whatever they do in these workshops. And that's very stable at this stage.
Okay, so that's good to know. There's a constant in that. Tell me, how does the interest rate of the South African Reserve Bank have an impact on the investment in commercial property?
So when you touch investment in commercial, industrial, in this sensitive topic, the banks are very strict with their loan criteria on these type of properties. So they perhaps would give you a 60% bond, and you need a 40% own contribution.
And that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money for small business. Now, when you compare the rent that is currently paying, and with interest and everything, perhaps he can afford the installment of the property if he purchases it. But what he cannot do now is he can't afford the deposit. So it is a winning situation for investors, where if we get that tenant in, he remains a tenant for a long time.
Okay.
He's got the idea that he wants to build his own place, but he will never have that cash flow to develop his own place while renting. And if he wants to purchase an existing building, you need a 40% down payment.
And 40% sounds so 40%, but on a commercial industrial property, I mean, that's not something that sells for R1 million. We're talking 5-6 million. It's a lot of money, but if we take into consideration the interest rates, it is, if the borrowing goes up, if the interest rates go down, so people are more inclined then to attempt to buy these kind of properties. And I mean, it all has such a big impact on each other, and I mean, you guys see it on the daily. What are some of the key indicators you look at when you are advising clients on a good commercial investment? What is the things you look at?
So location is then property, always location. But then you need to look at the infrastructure. Are these properties that you presenting to your client accessible? So with the current situation on roads, potholes, the logistics around the building, that's very important. Safety is very important, and that's where we are blessed with the Sasolburg Eco Park. We've got excellent infrastructure there. We've got very good security with intelligent cameras and access control into this park. Although all the units, all the properties inside are full title properties, so it's no sectional title, it's full title properties, and we've got a very good maintenance plan for the infrastructure in that park. It's a 50-year maintenance plan designed by engineers.
So it's proper.
It's proper, and it's been maintained properly. So you will notice a lot of development there. The problem is that people want to exit from other industrial parks in the Vaal Triangle and join us in this one, but they struggle to sell their properties there, and they cannot afford both. And that's where Stian and Jonica comes in. If people want to sell there and purchase here, they are the people to speak to, and they will go and they assess that property and see what can be done with it, what's a fair market value for it, and try to structure a deal that's win-winning for everybody.
Your dad said location. What's another indicator for you that you look at for people when they are trying to make this investment?
Well, it depends on if it's a company looking to buy for themselves or if it's an investor looking to purchase some rental units.
Okay. Let's say a company, not an investor. Yeah. What do you say? Let's have a look for this.
Yeah. So in a company, I'll go back to it, location. So safety is a big thing. In the eco-industrial park where we are, it has everything that everybody is looking for. So a lot of the times they get a tender from Sasol, and Sasol needs to come and inspect their workshop.
Yeah.
And it helps a lot when they drive in and they can already see, oh, the roads are good, the safety is there. Then when they show up to the shop, they're already in the right state of mind to be like, oh, this is actually where we want to be. Where in some of the other areas, you're going to have to convince them to actually give you the job, even though you are capable of doing it, but it's just your workshop and everything is not up to their standards.
Yeah.
So
the one thing I've never personally been in this industrial park, but I do drive around it, and I mean that's nice because just before you get to the park, I mean you guys drive it on the daily. I mean it's potholes, and the moment you enter there, I mean it's decently kept all year round. I mean it's a 50-year maintenance plan. And from an investment perspective, if you'd say if an investor is wanting to invest into property, what is the indicators that they have to look out for you?
Just before we go on there, may I just add that electricity or power supply is a huge part as well, you know, and with load shedding and infrastructure that is not up to standard, these businesses cannot operate with a constant power supply. Again, we want to go back to Sasolburg Eco-Industrial Park. We cannot promote it that we don't have load shedding, but we're on the same main feed as Sasol, and so we generally don't have any power issues.
Interruptions. It's like same topic but off topic. It's like I stay in Vereniging in Russellville, and we have that selling point there as well. We don't have load shedding, so you can buy your property here. When you are purchasing land for commercial use, there's some restrictions that you need to look out for. I mean, you guys have been in the business for a very long time. You deal with certain businesses that want to open up shop. What do we keep in mind saying restrictions? I mean, I don't have this engineering background, but I know that I cannot purchase this commercial property and let's say make my own oil there. Do you advise the clients on the restrictions? How do you find out about any restrictions that there is?
Zoning and zoning certificates are the most important when it comes to that. And that's where it's very important that you make use of the correct agents.
Yes.
Residential agents tend to know residential stuff very good.
Yes.
But when you go into the commercial, industrial, and once the land has been purchased, there's no turning around. You can't go back to the agent and stay. So you need to have all this info up front. So that's where it's very important for us as agents. We want to know what you want to do. People come to us and say, we want to buy land. I say, what do you want to do on it?
Yeah.
And sometimes they're afraid that we want to steal their idea. But we're not into businesses, we're into properties.
Yeah.
And then it happens all over, quite frequently that they had a specific idea of doing it here, but then it's not allowed in that specific area, and perhaps we can find them something else, which may be cheaper or whatever.
Yes.
But on the zoning certificates, it will indicate what you're allowed to do there, what's your coverage of the stand. So in other words, most industrial stuff is like 60%. So it means you can only put buildings up that cover 60% of the land.
Okay.
So you need to want to know how big your building requirements are, and then we find you a stand suitable for that. Also height restrictions.
It's very important.
Sometimes you need a noxious zoning where you want to work with dirty stuff, chemicals and stuff. Then also the amount of chemicals you want to store there, even diesel.
Also restricted,
Even if you want to do like a car wash, what do you do with the water flowing off there? It must go in the oil separator, It cannot just go into your normal sewer. So and that's our job,
Okay.
to advise people.
And tell me, Stian, when somebody approaches you guys with that to say, listen, I want to open up my shop for this specific business, does SSE charge a fee, extra money to help and guide the buyer into finding out all these zoning stuff? Is that something you just offer for free?
Yeah, so that's just part of our service.
Okay.
That's the job we do to earn our commission.
Okay.
We help guide the client to making the right decision so that they will work with us again in the future.
Okay, no, that's very good to know. I mean, because the one thing everybody is always worried about is, what is it going to cost me?
Yeah.
That's the first thing that's going to come out most buyers' mouths.
On that, sorry man, we have lots and loads of experience in the building industry ourselves and construction and especially in industrial properties. So we've got a good feeling of cost involved in setting up a building, and we know what will work and what won't work.
Yes.
And we can guide them to architects, guide them to local contractors, make it more efficient type of building, and that's just because we've got experience in it.
Yes, I mean,
You can't buy experience.
yeah, true that. When it comes to, we spoke briefly about costs and like 40% deposit and so forth. When it comes to financing options for the buyers of commercial industrial property, how do they go to work? Why I'm asking this is I had a really good chat with a bond originator, Liesel Rouse, previously, and I spoke about like just residential property, the normal Joe on the street purchasing a property, but this is not just the normal person buying property. What's the finance options available? How do you go to work to assist the people?
So you get the commercial property finance,
Okay.
which will be the 60-40% that the banks will offer you. If you have a good relationship with them and you've been working with one bank for a very long time, they might offer you a bit more. Or if you are able to put something else up as a collateral, let's say the company has another property, they can offer that up as collateral, then they can get more financing.
But how do we get to the bank? Do we go the same route with a bond originator? That's what I want the people to know.
Yeah, so bond originators generally don't work with commercial property finance.
Yes.
It is a function of your business broker in the bank.
Okay.
But it is a very important point that if you're a seller of an industrial building and you list it with any type of property agent, the agent, say for instance 5 million rand, a residential agent will come to you with a signed agreement from his client which states that you want a 100% loan.
Yeah.
We know you will not get it. So we will never take a deal like that to a seller, wasting their time, taking the property out of the market for a 30-day.
Getting their hopes up.
A CPF, commercial property finance bond, will take no less than 90 days. So if somebody comes to you and say, we'll get it within 14 days, I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
It will not happen.
Yeah. Put your money where your mouth is.
And we will not take offer to purchase to a seller if there's not own contribution written in this.
Okay.
Because you're wasting your time.
Okay, that's very good to know, because my goal, I always tell the people, the goal of this podcast is to equip the people. I mean, even though you might have the money to buy commercial property and so forth, you don't always know the process to follow, and that's why you guys are there.
Just on that, another point is on a CPF bond, the payment terms are 10 years.
10 years.
Not 20 years.
See, that's something, I thought it's like 20 years, like a normal bond.
So which make your installment very
Much
higher.
Yeah.
So buyers and sellers must know this.
Yeah. One thing, I had a really good conversation. It was just around the braai with our friends, and we were like, people are now buying property, talking residential, for 1.3 million, but you pay it off in 20 years. But the same guy goes out and buys a BMW for 1.3 million, pays it off in 5 years. Why can't you just pay off your property in 5 years?
Crazy now.
if you take that and you think about it, it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
I mean, a BMW X3 is 1.2.
And how many you see?
How many do you see that's going to be paid off in 5 years' time? Let's say you are investing in commercial property. What would the landlords have to be on the lookout when looking out for possible tenants?
So it's actually easier to deal with tenants in the commercial industrial sector because they don't fall under the Consumer Protection Act, which most of the residential stuff fall under. So if you want to evict them, it's easier to evict a company than a lady who's got 2 children and no income and no other place to stay.
Yeah.
So, but getting into the market is also difficult. It's easy to buy a 2-bedroom townhouse with 100% bond, and you use that as an investment, and there's the room and specific places for those type of investments. But if you've got a bit more money and you want to invest and enter the industrial or commercial sector, your returns may be better at the end.
And if you get that tenants that want to, they want to have the property, it's important to have a look at the history where they've rented previously. It's not the, like you say, the lady with 2 kids. It's a proper company.
Yeah, and Stiaan may perhaps go in more detail about that. With also the zonings and stuff, you need to take into account that the tenant may use that property.
Yeah,
it's something that normally happens is the first impressions you'll get from the client as well. If you're renting it out to them and they're late on their payment in the first month, then you already know that something is going to happen.
Probleme.
Yeah, and we have fallen trap to this a number of times because you try to help them out as well, and then you just need to be like, okay, here's the agreement, you're going to have to leave by the end of the month, and then you start looking for a new tenant.
Okay.
But it's also important to note that those tenants invariably are dependent on payments from larger institutions.
It's that 30-60 day payment.
And if they had something incorrect on the invoice, it's rejected. Sometimes you need to grow with your tenant and build relationships.
Okay.
And if that happens and they open up to you and say, listen, this is the problem, and you build up, but then you must be able to carry that. Because that's the first thing they don't pay.
Yeah,
it's the rent.
And it has that snowball effect because before you know it's on 60 days without any payment, and then it becomes a problem. Then you need to go. What's the biggest mistake you see people wanting to start investing in commercial property make when they approach you guys? It's a brand new guy, has $1 million or $2 million to invest into a property. What's the mistake you see they make?
So they perhaps want to go too big too fast.
Okay.
Yeah, so if they want to purchase land and develop it, they don't realize the development costs. So they may do their calculations and before they see the money is up.
Yeah.
And then it's stalled. And once the building has been standing for a number of months, then you find that there's a lot of other stuff that they need to redo again. And at the end, they just sell it as it is.
Okay, going too big, too fast.
Yeah.
You would agree?
Yeah, so something that also happens is they see a listing for a large property that's available to rent for 100,000, and they think, oh, I'm going to put my money, I'm going to build this place for 100,000, without thinking about the market of tenants for that 100,000 rand per month property. So you think, okay, if I rent it out, I'm going to get a lot of money, but it can also stay vacant for 5-6 months. Where if they take the same amount of money that it would have cost to build that big one and they build 4 smaller ones, and you fill 3 of them, but 1 is vacant, you still get your return on your money, but it's much easier to fill the smaller property.
And if an investor approaches you guys, how do you guide them? Obviously, you are estate agents, you work on commission, but how do you guide them, the investor, to making a proper offer for the property? So
in real estate agencies, there tends to be 2 types of people. The one who actually wants to help the client and the one who wants to make commission. And a client knows which one you are. they can easily pick up, oh, I'm just trying to make my commission. I'm not listening, giving you any advice. I'm just like,
not taking into account what Jock said is, what do you want to do here? Let's check at the zoning. It's just somebody that wants to earn their commission.
I want to sell it to you at the highest price possible so I get the most amount of commission. And then your client knows that, and then things don't go well. But where if you build a relationship with the client and you actually help guide them, because we are investors ourselves, we know what we would look at.
Yes.
So we kind of take them through our own process and guide them. And then the clients come back and they buy another one and they refer friends. And
okay, so that's very good. If you think specifically in the Vaal Triangle, Sasolburg, there's a feature in commercial, industrial properties. What feature improves the value of a property? I'm going back to the residential part because, I mean, you guys know as well, you guys do residential as well. Everybody would say each proper house, nice kitchen, nice bathrooms, that sell. But nice kitchen, nice bathrooms is not selling commercial industrial property. What feature increases the value and makes it sell faster in commercial properties?
So I would say it is the multi-purpose functionality of a building.
Okay.
Because perhaps you buy a building now with a specific plan and your plan doesn't work out. That building must be adaptable for somebody else to use.
Okay.
So if you've got a detailed building that's designed and planned only along your operations, it is fine while you're in it. But if you need to let it out at some time or whatever, then you need to be able to adapt it to cater for any type of business
That wants to enter that. What would you say, Stian?
I would say an industrial crane and lay down space.
Crane. I have one of my friends recently, I think you guys know him because I spoke to Jock, and he needed a property with I think it's a 5-ton crane or something. And I was like, let me ask Jock. And he's like, no, he's working with my dad. I'm like, okay, no, that's fine.
So a crane is important. But the bank doesn't see it as value to the property. The bank see it as equipment. And so your renting, your funding options for a crane are different than for commercial property finance.
Okay.
And on a crane, there are liabilities. It needs to be tested, and that needs to be all placed in writing in your lease agreement.
Okay.
Who's responsible for what? So in case there is
something happens.
So they commercial lease agreements are also very different than residential lease agreements.
Yeah. Okay, good to know. So there's so much we can still speak about, but at the end of each episode, I want to ask each person, rapid fire, you need to just give the answer, don't think about it. I think to go together, because otherwise you're going to be influenced by the other one's answer. So if I have to ask you, commercial or residential?
Commercial.
Okay, industrial or residential?
Industrial.
Oh, retail, office, industrial. If you have to invest all your money today, which one?
Industrial.
Sure. Biggest deal breaker, bad location or bad tenant?
Bad location. We'll find another tenant.
Okay, okay. One word to describe the commercial property in South Africa, the market.
Growth.
Yeah, good investment.
Good investment, growing. Okay, that's good. Another agent I had on said booming for residential. So I see similar trends, even if it's commercial and residential. Best advice for first-time commercial buyer and investors in South Africa?
Speak to a expert property agent who's an expert in that field.
Yes.
Don't speak to your residential, even if she's your neighbor or whatever. Speak to a
your
specialist.
Cousin,
No, they should contact us. We'll help them.
Yeah, contact SSE. Yeah, that's very good. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate the time you guys took out of your day. I know you are busy. What is on the cards for SSE in the next year? What do you have planned, Stian?
Yeah, so we're going to keep on focusing on our industrial sector. maintain it as it is, but we want to pick up our residential side as well. So we have a couple of new agents who are very enthusiastic and they're ready to work. So people should just look out. They'll see our listings popping up more in the residential market as well.
We'll be driving in Sasolburg and seeing SSE boards everywhere on show Sunday and so forth. Thank you so much once again. Well, this is us for the episode. Join us next time as we put the questions on the table, we unpack the facts and get real about the things that you really want to know. If there's anything you want to know about SSE, remember we will put the link to their website in our bio. You can contact Stian and Jacques. They will be able to assist you with any commercial industrial needs that you may have, questions that you may have. But remember, next time we are back with more information. In the meantime, remember to like, subscribe and comment, and then I will see you next time. Bye-bye.